Test. Okay. Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and this is the Ramsey Show After Show. The Ramsey Show ended early today, so did not have time to type welcome, baby steppers. Yeah, they could have cut out. Seemed like they cut out about five or so minutes of it, and so don't know what reason that is for. Okay, volume is working. Audio, is working. So we're all good. All right, let's get going. You're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney. My name is Coach Steve Money, at least on YouTube it is. And I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you'd like more of my financial content, you just go past the Oak Island playlist and you'll see the Ramsey Show. Still haven't taken the day part off of it. I keep forgetting to do that. The Ramsey Show After Show playlist and the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist. And so that is, what do we got? About 500, that's 500 hours on the first one. And this is 137. So actually probably I would say closer to 600 hours on the Aftershow show. And on here, probably closer to 200 hours, because I sometimes go over an hour on these, on the Answer Your Financial Questions. And it's been, 2 months since I did one of those. And those are normally like on the weekends when I do those, when I have extra time. The music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there, and in 9 short episodes. For episode 500, I will have at least one new song, probably two to debut there. And probably what I'll do is just sing all of my songs for that special 500th show. Very exciting. Up and comment. Thanks so very much for doing those. Market report. Market down big today, led by the Russell Small Cap. NVIDIA took the market down, and others, I'm sure, other things as well. But as you can see, the lowest down, of course, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, 1.48% down. And let's see, we have CrowdStrike, Marvel. I guess nobody reported today. Nobody very exciting. Make sure all the most followed single stocks on the Google are down, and they are. And so basically, let's see, where's the NVIDIA? Here, gotta be here somewhere. This first one down here. Yeah. So down 8.69%, and I have a story about that coming up here. Let's see what the rest of the planet did. Everything up in Europe, mostly down in Asia. Currencies, euro over the US dollar, Japanese yen on top as well. The British pound low. Not the Canadian dollar, sorry, US dollar on top. And the Australian dolomite. They said NAR to the US dollar being on top. And in futures, let's see what it looks like. Futures barely up in the early future trading. No, it just changed. No, it's not. So, but this doesn't matter. Somebody could sneeze or have some kind of good report come out or something like that. The president could say the right thing, and this would be completely up tomorrow instead. So we'll just have to see on that. So I think we've done everything for, we've done everything for the market report. Kind of continuing the market report. Yeah, this from Yahoo. Yahoo Finance. NVIDIA stock drops as new China chip smuggling report raises investor fears on further export scrutiny. Well, if you're not doing anything wrong, then why can't you have further scrutiny? Would be my question. Oh, let's see what it said. NVIDIA's latest Blackwell chips are reaching China through third-party resellers using entities registered in nearby regions in violation of export controls. Sure, Singapore is probing NVIDIA's customers, Dell and Supermicro Computer. Yeah, illegal. So don't do that. Dumb. Another report. This from, I don't even know what this is. What is that? Gizmodo.com. Elon Musk calls Social Security a Ponzi scheme as he destroys the U.S. government. I don't know about this part, but it is a Ponzi scheme. Duh. Very definition of a Ponzi scheme. Let's answer some questions. We go to reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. Not run by Ramsey Solutions. It's run by fans. If you'd like a group that's run by Ramsey Solutions, that would be on Facebook, and it's called the Ramsey Baby Steps Community, just like it's the Ohio State University. Professional Mick 7806 asks, Paul's contribution to retirement when saving attending school. Well, the advice for teens and young adults is that you just pile up cash, no investing, while you are attending school. And of course, teenagers still living with parents. And that's because you want to save up money so you have enough to move out and to buy a car, even if you're not going to college. But if you are going to college, you do not invest that money away while you may still not graduate debt-free. And so the idea is to just save up so you have enough money for all of that. And then you worry about retirement investing when you get to step 4, after you get your big boy or big girl job after college. People always love to start early, though. Let's see what this person's dealio is. I'm posting this topic because I can't find the Dave content relating to the baby steps when saving attending school. As I said, he does talk about it. It's probably not one of the higher circulating videos and clips, but I mean, it's probably on the website somewhere, on his website. They have plenty of articles like that, like blog posts that tell about the steps and his advice. So you can just go to RamseySolutions.com and ask your questions there instead of just Googling it, if that's what you did. But you'd think it would still come up. Let's see, I graduated from college in 2017, but intend on attending college again because I hate my current field. All right, so what there has to be is no debt. Let's see if there's any debt. 10K high yield savings, 38 in non-retirement investing. See, none of this stuff should be done if you have student loan debt. My 401k, Roth IRA, health savings account, right? You wouldn't touch any of those three, the 401k, the Roth IRA, and the health savings account. You wouldn't touch any of those to pay off debt. My total net worth is roughly $80,000 and projected to reach 120K by the end of the year. Yeah, you hope. I mean, is that with your current job? I currently contribute 5% of my gross pay to employer, 401k, maxed out Roth IRA, and health savings account. Limits for 2023 and 2024. Employer is projected to contribute about $3,500 to 401k this year. I have zero debt. Great. And a car that's good for another 7 to 10 years. So that's great as well. So you do need to have the full emergency fund, which I guess between the 10K in the high yield savings account and the 38K in non-retirement investing, you would have enough for that. And so what you do now is you just pile up cash, to pay for that school, no student loans. School costs 2 years of community college will cost roughly $5,000 to, well, you already got it. Congratulations. I plan on enrolling this coming fall, 2025. But then what? Then you're going to have to go to 4-year school, fall 20 semester. At the latest, grad school will cost roughly $12,000. If you're going to keep working, you'll still have that as well. I mean, you already have that as well. So 17. So you could like put that in the, consider the 10 for that. And your, and the 5. No. What am I looking at? There was some other money somewhere. Where was it? 5,000 to cover. So it's 17,000. Oh, so another 7. You need another 7 for that. So, or either way, if it just depends. I mean, you wouldn't want to, if you're not going to go, if you're not going to wait 5 years to go to community college, which I don't think you will. So you need to just have that in a high yield savings account at most and not put it in the market, because the market could be down right when you're ready to go to school and need the money. But so I would take at least the money out of the non-retirement investing to add to that. And you shouldn't be doing non-retirement investing until, well, I don't know if this person doesn't say anything about a mortgage. So it just depends on what baby step you have. But like generally, if you're just on 4 and no kids and no house yet, then at that point you can have non-retirement investing, and that could maybe even be like a loose, perhaps a down payment fund, but we'll read on and see. So, but you have the money already. Currently I have 0 in my 529 account. Okay. Doesn't say the age of this person. My question is, what is the most optimal solution when saving for college while contributing to retirement accounts? Well, you wouldn't. You would prioritize college. So you wouldn't be doing that. I will be 32 years old. Okay, 32 years old by the time I start school. So my current progress when it comes to retirement isn't great, but it isn't horrible. Right. Well, this is the problem when you go to school and then you get a job in that field and then you don't like it. So, but your situation is much better than you having student loans. Also, he said the 12,000 for the grad school on top of that. Okay. And you also have to be relatively sure that you can graduate through that and then get a good job making more money, and that you like both of those once you do graduate, to justify the expense of this, even if it's not on a loan, which it should not be, which you already know because you're asking about savings. And so that's why it all goes there. So you don't do, everybody tries to do everything at the same time like that. A lot of the questions on here are, how do I invest, save for a down payment, and how do I buy this and go on vacation? They always want to do all of it at the same time. You need to prioritize one thing and do that until you have enough money. You already have enough money to cover the school. So that's not the issue. So the only problem is if you have any other expenses that are coming up. So you need to think about other expenses that may happen during that time you're at college there. Are you going to continue to work the same amount of hours, or do you have to save up enough to get you through those times? That kind of thing. Like anything else you might need money for, you have to not put that in your retirement account because you can't get at that out without penalty. My friend recommended don't do 529 plan, but max out Roth IRA every year because I can withdraw contributions without penalties, taxes to cover school costs. Yeah, I wouldn't try to do that and try to try to what's that called? Try to do like subterfuge like that on that. I would not do that. Let's see. Discover cool costs while funding my retirement. Yeah, I would not do that just for the gains on that. Not sure what Dave's position would be on this topic, but I'd like to have your input. Oh, the Roth IRA though. No, you can still do it on a Roth IRA. I was thinking you couldn't because of the taxes, but you can take out your contribution. So, but to not try to game the system like that. Let's see. Let me know if there's any additional information you need to answer the question, and thanks in advance. Right, and again, because I told you, 2 years is not enough time, because the market could be down right when you need the money, and then you're not taking you're not making that much, and you're still taking the money out anyway. You would have been better to have that in a high yield savings account during that time, if that is what happens. So not putting it in the market for short-term usage like that helps you out and saves you from that. Edit. Forgot to mention my current employee does not match my contributions, but contributes 3.75% my total earnings, I guess, in 2025 and 7.5 in 2026 and after. I project the employer contribution will be about 3,500 this year and 7,200 in 2026. So regardless of whether I can contribute, the employer contribution doesn't change. That's great. So just have they can put theirs in. That's fine, but you need to save all yours for school and any other things that might happen. So, I mean, if you're gonna just work this job you don't hate, that you do hate, while you continue this community college and then grad school, you got to think about all the other things that you may need money for. And you say the car is going to be good for 7 to 10 years, so hopefully that would get you through that, but you never know. So you do not want that money locked up in a retirement account. Who that trying to text? Did he text me? And why did I? What up, Sid? What up, James? Sorry, I'm just keeping it real here. Yeah, my bad. I apologize. Do not disturb. Okay. It was not my kids with some emergency, so everything's cool. Instagram is not an emergency, for sure. Football 12103, 12/10/13. Oh, that's probably a date, I guess. December 10th, 13. All right. Keeping rental property or sell and mostly pay off mortgage. Okay. You're doing it wrong. I have tenants moving out on April Fool's Day. Maybe they're not moving out. Maybe it's just a prank. Since on 4/1, in a fully paid off rental property, you're doing it wrong by not having your mortgage paid off. Former residents, and you're doing it wrong. People always love to try to game the system like this by it being their original house, and then they're going to be like, I'm going to use that as a rental property, and I'm going to go ahead and get a whole nother mortgage. That is not the idea behind the baby steps. That is basically what you're doing is you're having an extra mortgage in there. And so that is not part of it. Let's see where the net profit has consistently been $1,500 a month. That's great till you need a roof, put a roof on it. There is no mortgage on this property, so it's just profit. Great. That's great until you have some kind of problem. And you said they're moving out. They're moving out, dog. I have about $370,000 left to mortgage on our primary home. I could likely sell the rental property for $310 or so net, leaving us the ability with our savings to pay off mortgage anytime in our 30s. Yes, do that, because you shouldn't have done that anyway. If you come across the Dave Ramsey advice and say, oh, this is good advice and I'm going to follow this, then you undo all the dumb crap that you did that you shouldn't have done, which would work by selling that property and paying off your mortgage. And then after that, you can save cash to buy a new rental property if you want to be a landlord outside of, oh, well, I just have I'm going to move. I paid off this house and now I'm going to move and rent this out and I'm going to get another one. That's all too common, all too common. Where'd we go? Oh, this year would also be the last year we could sell that property. Why? Oh, without capital gains tax on the 2 to 5 year rule. Okay, whatever floats your boat, that would be the advice anyway, regardless of this stuff. But if that's more ammo in my revolver, I'll take it. As we did live in it until the end of 2022. I'm drawn to sell it. Well, that may be that you think Dave's advice is a good idea and you know you did it wrong. And have no mortgage, but pretty much all financial advice says don't sell it and keep the annuity coming in. Thoughts? Well, pretty much all the financial advice says that, except for the subreddit that you're on. This says Dave Ramsey. This is not pretty much all the financial advice, right? Some people are like that. Some people are like, oh, you never sell property. Always keep property. That's false. Your situation could mean that you should not have that property. And in your case, it's because you basically are paying a mortgage on a rental property, because if you didn't move out of that one was paid off, you could have just stayed in that one. Or if you didn't like that house, you could have sold it and moved into another one and without taking on another mortgage. So, you debt leveraging at that point. Once you paid off one house and then you get another mortgage, that's debt leveraging. So that is not advised. And so again, pretty much all the other advice doesn't matter. You're on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. I mean, you can easily go to r/finance or some other, r/debt leverage. I wonder if there is one. I'll check and let you guys know. If I remember, I'll check. r/debt leverage. Fun times. So, and I'm sure they'd say, oh, yeah, of course you don't do it. But and everybody thinks that too. Just because you're moving and don't like the house, that doesn't mean you keep it to become a landlord. Not everybody is meant to be a landlord. And, and $1,500 is more than a lot of people make per month that have called Dave and have put questions in here. Some of them make like 500. After, because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to do it. And so they hire a management company. And then that takes most of your profits. So that's dumb as crap. Let's see. This one has ellipses after it. So let's open it. This is what? Red sauce hyphen garlic, I think. Husband afraid to retire. I think it's time. Well, maybe he just doesn't want to because he thinks he'd be bored. Or because he, bad joke, or maybe because then he'd have to spend more time with you. Edited. Okay, let's read the question first. Husband turned 65 in May, and I'm 53. Started listening to Dave a year ago. We have $2 million in investment accounts, $120,000 in federal TSP account. Regular bank accounts total around $40,000. Husband retired military after 28 years. Now federal employee at 15 years. I mean, maybe Elon will cancel your that branch of the government or something like that. That particular department. Who knows? And then maybe your problem be solved for you. Let's see. We owe $40,000 on home. So, can anybody see what we did wrong here? I mean, I guess 40,000 could be emergency fund, I guess. But probably somewhere. I mean, why hasn't that house paid off? I mean, did you buy it late or what? Let's see. I work part time. He is convinced he should continue to work because we have a son starting college, but we have the GI Bill to help pay for that. Okay. He also worries because I'm 13 years younger. I want him to retire and enjoy a life. We don't desire to travel or live a lavish lifestyle. That can certainly help. So basically, that $2 million will was that 200,000? Right? Yeah, I'm right about that, right? 10% of it. 2 0 0 0. Yeah, that's right, right? Gosh, I'm losing my mind here. 200,000. By the time I do it, so it'll say yes, Steve, or no, Steve. 200,000. There we, no, that's 20,000. 200,000 times point. Oh, by 10. Yeah, 2 million. Okay, I was right. Okay, not today, dementia, and Sid did not get me. Um, I don't know why. I was just thinking it was wrong. So $200,000, and so for $200,000, if you can live on that per year, then you can, he could retire. But hey, I got a great idea. Why don't you pay off that freaking house before he retires? How about that? What have you guys been spending the money on and not paying that off? I mean, granted, again, they could have been bought it late in life. They could have a 30-year freaking mortgage and they're just riding it out. Who knows what the actual situation is? Where are we? Cars and boat are paid off. Yeah, yeah. So, but I may need a new car. See, yeah, see, everything. I always need something else though. Biggest expense probably our cats and dogs, and that's the way that works. Would Dave say we are okay to retire? How do you alleviate the fear I think husband is feeling? Well, he probably wants the house. If he's worried about money at all, he's worried about the house being paid off. And so why haven't you paid the house off yet? Is what I would be thinking. But also he could be thinking he doesn't want to be at home, just sit at home in a chair watching TV or, playing World of Warcraft or something like that. Let's see. Edit. Thanks for the insight. Appreciate the comments about the fact that he may simply find satisfaction in his work. Absolutely. That's kind of what I was saying. He doesn't want to sit around. Especially someone in the military that has that structure and so forth. I could easily understand that. I'll try to, not try and. We don't try and do things. It's try to be more sensitive to this. I just don't want him feeling hardened to keep working. Thanks. Okay. And again, my question is going to be, how do you have $2 million in investment accounts? And then regular bank accounts of 40,000. Again, I get that might be the emergency fund. And you still owe 40,000 on the house. And so again, may have bought the house late. It could be on a 15. Don't know what the dealio is in that. Or they could have maybe moved up and got too much house. So I would see about paying that off first. And I would take a look at your budget to see what you are spending money on instead of getting that thing paid off. So like if you have extra cash that you're putting in investment account that's not coming from like the military or any other thing, if you are putting extra money into it, that does not go to extra investing. You need to be doing 15% now of gross income, sure, but then you don't have money to knock this 40,000 off of the house. So that's what I would be looking at. I would be more concerned about that than when he wants to retire. So yeah, you just need to. What you need to do is talk to him. I mean, you can't say unless he's told you I'm afraid to retire. You can't just assume some things. And some people, especially spouses, think they know exactly what their spouse is feeling, but that's not always the case. So, yeah, gotta talk to them, communicate. The first C. Second C is compromise, and then if you can't do either of those two things, then it's time for the third C, which is counseling. Kids, money and debt question level tap 3526. There's nothing cute that you want to buy for a kid that justifies going into debt for it. That's a nar. Edited, wife and I, oh, again with the editing? Oh, did he remove the rest of it? I think he did. Let's see. Yep, he did. Or she. Edited wife and I just chatted, sick of dwelling over this, decided not going to take the money or do the work at the house right now. Going to keep chugging along and work on maxing retirement again in kid college. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and guess. Well, we want to do something for our kids. Oh, maybe it's just the kid college is that part of it. But yeah, there's no doing extra stuff with money that's not 100% necessary. So there's no like doing anything. Oh, well, this will make my kid so happy. If you have debt, that's a nar. You can make your kid happy later with the kid college thing. But yeah, first you got to get to be able to do that. That's step 5. Hey, guess what? If you're on step 2, excuse me, pay off debt, there's no step 5 yet. No, sorry. Sorry. You're doing it wrong. You did it wrong. And don't feel bad because we all did it wrong. I did it wrong as well. I listened to Dave Ramsey every night in the 90s. Not like the whole 90s, but like a long stretch in the 90s. Went probably a good 3 years or so. Probably about mid 90s, and I listened to him at night, the AM radio station in Norfolk, Virginia Beach, played it at night, and so I would listen to it when I would drive between the various arcades and stuff, some bars and stuff as well, and so yeah, I listened to it, and I thought it was great advice. But I was just like people are today, which I'm like, well, I don't make that much money, so it doesn't apply to me. I was too dumb to realize it applies much more to me because not making that much money as all these other people that are calling the show, that gives me less wiggle room. So I don't have any buffer there, so I have to be even more diligent. And so I was too dumb to realize that until later in life, which I wish I was smarter earlier. Baby step 2 help. Overview. Might have read this one. They do switch positions sometimes. $15,000 debt remaining. The last one. Great. Sounds familiar. Let's see. COL. What does that mean? Cost of living? Option 1. I guess for housing, 1,500 a month or 2,500 a month plus furnishing expenses. Well, why wouldn't you do the 1,500? I'm not understanding. Single, 4,300 monthly take-home pay. So the 2,500 is going to be too much. So that's a nar on that one. Let's see why we like the second one. Why that's even listed as an option. Take home 600 a week. Hold on. Okay, 4,300 monthly. Oh, monthly take home is all together. Gotcha. And then 600 per month. Gotcha. Positive cash flow from rental property. If you have debt, you sell the rental property. Approximately $250. Yeah, positive cash flow. See, $250. They're doing this for $250. And I didn't even like it when the guy was making, what was he making? We need to get that up and consistent once I'm settled to 1,500 to 2,000 monthly, and until baby step 3 is completed. It's not gonna be as long as you have the rental property, because apparently if you're paying, you do not own the house you're living in. Let's see what the dealio is. Currently in baby step 2 and planning to move across the country next month. Of course you are, because again, everybody wants to do everything all at the same time. So if you pay for a move across the country, you cannot pay off debt with that money that you need to move across the country. So, after being transferred to a higher cost of living city for work. That's great if they give you commensurate salary for that. I did well here and gave it a try for a year, but it's not for me long term, so I want to go back as my quality of life has significantly decreased. Okay, I'm in negotiations with my job to cover relocation expenses. That would be fabulous. But I will be able to cover the rest of the move through cash flow regardless of that. I'll be staying with relatives temporarily 2 months until I save enough for basic furniture and a damage deposit. All right. In the meantime, I plan to continue renting out my current home, which is positive cash flow, until I'm out of debt. That's you're debt leveraging. So that's a no on that. And I fully built my emergency fund. You're on step 2. You don't fully build your emergency fund. You're doing it wrong. Hopefully by the time my tenant renews next spring. Since starting my debt payoff journey in November, I've been doing the baby steps wrong since then. I've paid off about 55% of my debt, but I'll likely need to purchase furniture, all used except mattress, and pay a damage deposit on my new rental. The city I'm moving to has a lower cost of living, which should help with monthly expenses. Should I pause baby step 2 during the move? Well, you'll need some. You said you can do it with cash flow. If you can do it with cash flow and you have money left over, then there's no problem doing that. You may want to temporarily pause it, like right the week of it, or maybe the week before that, just in case some other unforeseen expenses come up, so you can handle those as well. Should I stay with my relatives until I pay off more of my debt? No, Mr. Ramsey likes adults to live on their own. He also likes adults to not debt leverage by keeping a rental while having baby step 2 debt. That's a nar on that. Especially if you have a mortgage on that rental, because that's a nar as well. Would definitely speed up my debt payoff. So would selling the house. But I'm worried about the stress it might cause. My relatives aren't comfortable with my pets. Boop, boop, boo doo. So I'd be away from them, and I'm concerned about my energy levels. Mood, since my relatives are senior citizens, and it really makes me a bit lazy being around them, and we have a healthier relationship in low doses as I work from home. I know people like that for sure, and they don't seem to understand that. Any advice on whether staying with them is worth it to accelerate my debt payoff? I would say no. I would say you save up the money to move, and you can move, but you need to also not just save up the money to move, but also to pay the first month's rent, the deposit, I guess that's the damage. You said damage deposit. Yeah, so the deposit, until you have enough money to do all of that. Until then, you stay at your job that you have. And you know what can help this situation a lot is if you sell that freaking rental. And also, if you're not going to be living in the same city, there's no way you should have that. in another city to make $250 a month. That's ridiculous. Um, where were we? Where were we? Where were we? Oh, might be too much stress, and what it should do about pausing the baby steps during this transition. Okay, so first, what we're gonna have to do is go ahead and do the baby steps correctly. And I mean, I see how this can happen to people, is that they can just read the baby steps, interpret it like they want to, and just start following them, and maybe watch the show every once in a while. So they're not even aware that they're doing it wrong, but you're doing it wrong. How many people commented? 3 people commented from 7 days ago. That's not very Reddity. Come on, this person needs some more comments there. Let's see. So no additional. Oh, here's the. I'm headed back home and not thinking of selling, as I'd like to live there once baby step 3 is complete. Oh. No, you tell the people they have to leave and you live in that house. You're being dumb as crap. If I started the baby steps before I purchased, I would have done things differently, but it's a good asset and not causing me any stress. That's a lie. I think I might stay with relatives for a bit and just hustle hard. Yeah, that's not right at all. You mean you, it doesn't, see, it doesn't say it's paid off or if it's a mortgage on that house. So, this person is just thinking, oh, well, paying off the mortgage is only step 6, so I don't have to worry about that. That's only for one that you live in. Any other ones are bought completely in cash. You don't just move out of one and become a landlord and still have a step 2 debt. That's a no. So you're doing it wrong. And, I support your ability to do whatever you want to do with your life and your money. But if you're wanting to follow the Ramsey advice, you're doing it wrong. So, and that's what it is. This is the exact thing. If I started the baby steps before I purchased, I would have done things differently. You still can do things that way. You just don't want to, but it's a good asset. Yeah. So, yeah. But why wouldn't you be living there now? Dumb. Oh, if I could quote Mr. Ramsey, that is a dumb butt idea, lady. The lady wanted to build credit scores for her children. Important drag. They were like young teenagers, I think. Important drag 9017. Townhouse approval. Can I get a house or townhouse based on my credit score, a loan, and a good down payment? Maybe you would have to consult somebody that does that kind of thing. You can apply. So you don't need to, if you're doing it the Ramsey way, guess what? We don't care about credit score. So you wouldn't be doing it that way. I know that a down payment will lower the monthly payment for a mortgage. That is true, and that's why you should put down a good one, for sure. I know that a good credit score is crucial for buying anything. No, it's not. You do not need a good credit score for that. You do not need any credit score for that. You can get a mortgage in America with manual underwriting, and people apparently aren't aware of that. I don't know how. You knew enough to come to the Dave Ramsey subreddit, but you never listened to the show or anything. You don't know anything about that. I bet credit score comes up at least once a show. I'm sure. Sure it does. If I remember, I'll start. I'm gonna write it down, so I don't drop any balls here. Writing it down here. What do we got here? We got r/debt leverage I'm sure there would be one that is r/debt. There probably is one. But debt leverage, we'll see. And what was the other one that I just said? Oh, credit score. I'm going to start checking if there's a day when credit score does not come up. And it always comes up, and it's always a nar, we don't care about it. Apparently, in some other countries, maybe Canada, I don't know. I was told that in Canada you have to have a credit score. Anyway, but would I get overlooked because of my income? Yes, that can happen. Despite my down payment and credit score, it's in the 700s. You'd be fine with that, but also have the credit score, but also you need to be buying a house that's in your price range and your affordability range. That mortgage needs to be no more than 25% of your take-home pay. And so if it's more than that, on a 15-year fix too, not on a 30. And so if it's more than that, you can't afford it. And so you need to put down even more down payment to get that down to where it's 25%. So you save longer. So you wait, and that's not something the kids or even the adults like to do. They do not like to wait for anything. And the answer to getting it right away is often debt. And so that's why it's bad. Okay. Health concerns, thoughts while paying off debt. All right. For context, my situation is not life or death. That's fabulous. But my current medical condition, currently undiagnosed, okay, but working on diagnosis with doctors, makes me very miserable. You know the word. Oh, if you know the word, think woman who touched Jesus' cloak, okay? Lots of hormonal things that are affected by what we eat. Well, indeed. That can happen. Anyway, my question is about grocery budgets. What about it? Baby step 2, but have about 200K in student debt to pay off. Well, hopefully you got 200K student debt worth of job and that much worth of income now. Our budget is about $350 for groceries for our family. Doesn't say how many people in it. This month I experimented with a budget of $450 and got more whole food, quality ingredients. And when I tell you my energy levels, a lot of symptoms and life just improved dramatically. It is insane. My question is it worth it? The extra $100 per month just to feel better. I feel guilty, but I don't know. I mean, that's a decision you have to make. And if you do make that decision, I would take that $100 from somewhere else that's already in your budget. So that's up to you. Now, just 1 month doesn't mean anything. So, I mean, it could be just you feel better because you tried something new even. Maybe that could be making you feel better. So that the jury's out on that. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know any more than you do. But you do know how you feel, and so you have to make that call. But I would find that $100, I would cut out something else that's $100 to feel better. Like, for example, subscriptions. If you are eating out any, which you shouldn't be doing, I'd cut that out, and then you'll feel better. And the eating out food probably isn't that good for you either. True thought, 5124, 100,000 addition to house or build new. What's wrong with your current house? My husband and I are debating between building a house on 25 acres we own outright or adding on to our current house. We need a lot more room. Why? See, this is it again. We need a lot more room. For what and why? Overuse of the word need happens a lot on the Ramsey Show and in the Ramsey Show chat and on this subreddit. overusage. And addition will cost us at least 100K, if not more. We currently have about 150K equity in our house with a mortgage balance of 230. Doesn't matter the interest, does not ever matter ever. If we build, I'm estimating it will be around 350K at the most. Yeah, I would on a build that you're doing yourself, on a new build, I would go more than that. You can't be surprised if it goes over your estimate, especially if you're not a home builder. We have no other debt besides our mortgage. We have 50K to put toward either the addition or a new house, leaving us with 3-month emergency fund. Okay, so you see, the problem here is, and this is what people do. Sorry, didn't open it up earlier. So this is all of it. So this is what people do. They say, oh yeah, let's say 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Oh, okay, I'd feel better with a 6-month emergency fund. So we should do that. Okay. And then they have a 6-month emergency fund until they find some dumb investment, or they want to have a house addition or build a new house. And then all of a sudden they're fine with 3-month emergency fund. And so what that is I call it intellectual dishonesty there. Anyway, what do we do? Sorry, my fault. Have a bit of an emotional attachment to our current house, and it connects to the parcel of land that we would build on, so we would prefer it to rent it out and eventually sell to family. No, 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 no. It's not really in the cards to sell it and use the money towards the new build, even though I know we should. Well then, what are you doing here? Do what you want to do then. You already know the right answer. So spend half the time and about a third of the money to get our current house decent enough. You probably don't need any of it. You don't need the new house. You don't need the addition. You probably don't need any of it. You just want it. Decent enough to keep us happy for the next 10 years or so. I hope it is. And then what? You're going to buy an even bigger one? Or just bite the bullet and build our forever home? No such thing as a forever home. Using the extra $600 to $700 a month from our current house as a rental towards the new mortgage. Scheming and scamming, trying to use a house as a rental that you didn't pay cash for in full. So all that's a no. We've been putting off building since 2021, and I don't think the prices of material, they're not gonna come down. Anything besides go way up, right, these next few years. I'm worried if we don't do it now, we may never get to, and that might be a good thing because you don't need to do it. Let's see what people say. I'd encourage you to speak to a few realtors and see what the best option is. You already own the land, so why not build from this 4 through 6 person? 350K is cheap for a house these days. That's what he said. That doesn't mean, or she, that doesn't mean they have any clue about how much houses cost. And it sounds like you want a big one. Want is correct. I would build that in a heartbeat. This person, I'd build the dream house in a heartbeat, but I'd definitely sell the current house and throw the equity at the dream house at a minimum, but the idea is to not constantly having new mortgages. Garage living space will always feel like a converted garage. That will add 100% not add value to the home. Is that what they were talking about? They didn't say they were going to do that, did they? Make sure I'm not losing my mind. No, there's no garage living space mentioned. Okay, so I thought it was on my mind, so I don't know why that person brought it up. Why are you wanting / needing more room? What's your income? Is this one of my alts? I don't have any alts. That's a troll thing to do. How long would it take you to get 50K more to pay cash for it? Absolutely. Another big reason I'm leaning towards building is because of the 100K worth of addition will not add 100K in equity. That's right. And we will eventually have to add a detached garage. You do not have to have one. Why do you have to have one? Why do you have to have a detached garage? Why? If we do this addition, because we will be turning our current garage. Oh, this where is it? Where it says that? Oh, that's right, because this is older, so the person would have read that. Okay, my bad. My bad for that person saying that. Should start at the bottom. We just found out we have a third child on the way, so definitely spend money on other stuff. Current house is only 2 bedrooms. I quit my job last year, so our income went from 200K to 130 to 150K, but we still want to do everything like we made 200K. Our bills are currently $3,500 a month. We budget another 1K for food, and that leaves us with around 3K a month that we can save. I think it would realistically take about 2 years to save another 50K. So the third child on the way, the baby does not need room by the baby's self for a long time. So that's a no on that. And depending on the ages, how soon before the oldest goes to college, that kind of thing, or moves out. And so you got to think about all of that, and instead of just, oh, I'm pregnant, so we have to build a new freaking house. So that's even dumber than I'm pregnant. We have one child, in this case, I know they have 3, but still, people that have one child think they have to buy they think they have to finance. It's still dumb if you buy it in cash, but they think you have to finance a freaking SUV for one child. And as I reported today, and was very happy to report today in the Ramsey Show chat, that my kids are adults now. They are still alive after having been driven in a compact car most of their lives. Needing to share somewhere. Car is paid off today, and it was my final debt. Excellent. 32 months early, I went gazelle as all hell and attacked it with a fury. Fabulous. And not that I'm going to sell it, but it's somehow worth $19,000. Private sale, according to Kelly Blue Book. Feels amazing. Excellent. Good job. 32 months early. So did go gazelle intense. And so if you are going to keep a dumb expensive car, that is the way to do it. That is how you do it. You work extra hard to get that dumb thing paid off just because you want to have it. You don't need to keep it, but if you want to and you're willing to put in the work, knock yourself out. Ramsey Perspective Wanted. Did I read this one? Cross post. Let's see. Cross post between that and what? What would Dave do, Flair? Now you know darn well what Dave would do. Well, probably anyway. Let's see. Oh my goodness. How did a little drop of water get on the bottom of my glasses? All right. Hello all. This is what is this? Tag Phoenix. Hello all. Hi guys. This is a bit of cross post, but I really like to hear from this group. I follow Dave and George for years, and you don't already know the answer. And I would say I followed a modified version of the Ramsey method. Did I do this? No pitchforks, please. You can do whatever you want. You don't need to even ask people in this subreddit. And put what would Dave do there. Dave would do the baby steps without the modifications. So, did I do this one before? They all start to sound the same eventually. Let's see. Here's my cross post and dilemma. Where did you cross that one? Hey guys, posting this during my usual battle of insomnia during the last few weeks. I mean, you posted it twice. Oh, my significant other and I both work for state government. I think I did read this. Let's see. Cheaper homes are not an option as we have 2 kids and top tier schools are extremely high priority for me. Oh, yeah. This is where I said you get to decide if it's important to you. Doing the baby steps the unmodified way, the Ramsey way, obviously wasn't that important to you. And hey, got a great idea. Don't tag it. What would Dave do? Because the mods don't do that. It doesn't happen automatically. The person picks that. So if you want the Ramsey perspective, you know darn well what it is if you follow Dave and George for years. Dumb as crap. Okay. Parallelo 23. Organized budget when getting paid late in the month. Well, your month can be like the 20th to the 20th. You can do however kind of month you want to do. So I don't know what the problem is. Let's see, working the baby steps, and I have my budget set up. Great. I will be in step 3 in March. Now, if it's on every dollar, I don't know if they make you go from first to first for a month, maybe. So maybe you might not use every dollar if you're having trouble doing that. I'm having trouble lining up my paychecks and the monthly bills. Leaving a lot of letters out here. I'm getting paid every 25th of the month, and also the gross of my expense gets paid at the end of the month. Okay, that sounds like that would be a good time to get paid then, right before it's due. Should I consider my paycheck of that month to be one of the next month's and just roll over the entire amount? Or do a carryover and just live half paycheck one month and half the other month? That would probably be the easiest thing to do, unless you, again, just do a month from like the 20th to the 20th. Something like that. I don't understand Dave's meeting. I think we did it. Why does he advocate a diet? Oh, yeah, there's somebody trying to be funny. It's not beers. And this person knows darn well. Okay, LOL, sausages. Yeah, okay. Jokes should be funny, is what I heard. Newly trying to get rid of debt, looking for some advice. Puzzle-headed map 9792. The wife and I have been quite bad at spending until very recently. Well, I'm glad it's better. And have accrued quite a bit of debt. We have almost $50,000 in credit cards that will soon start charging interest. Okay, yeah. And your dumb butt took out 0 interest cards. And may have even rolled other credit into that by paying off interest cards and thought, oh, I'm going to be great. And you're not. And now that we are aware of just how stupid we've all been there, we are looking for creative ways to reduce our debt quick. We have mulled over the idea of selling the house we live in and moving in with my father. Mr. Ramsey is not a fan of you adults living with parents. So that would be the Ramsey take on it. Numbers wise, I make a bit under 7K take home a month in the house. Utilities and a homeowner association costs about 3.2. So that's a NAR. That's a NAR on that. Say wife and I, is wife not working? So that's a NAR on the house. That's too much house. And especially, guess what? Sometimes you run into these situations and that's almost half of his take-home pay. And it's a 30-year mortgage too. Imagine that. Car's about $800 total with insurance. Sell both cars. Get beaters. And if we were to just cut out all spending, yeah, you do that. Anything that's not 100% necessary, that's what you do. which we are doing our best to do right now. Try harder, even more than that. We'd only put away maybe 2.5K at the absolute max. 2.5K a month is the rest. Well, you're not supposed to be saving anyway. That goes to debt. If we sold the house, we could probably pocket 60K to 70K on the sale. So we'd wipe out our debt. And while I came up with the idea, I'm starting to get cold feet. Yeah, because you're starting to second guess yourself because that's your dumbness coming in. Because probably, I mean, the only way you would keep the house is if you can't rent an apartment cheaper than that. If you can't rent an apartment cheaper, then you have to change something, like, again, selling the cars. Didn't think about that one. Thought about selling the house, though. Proud of you for that. But getting the cold feet is you just being dumb again. We both there are likely to get more income, probably about, 1.5K to 2K a month, if you say so, for her getting a job, and probably about 1K to 1.5 promotion for me in the next couple months. But we both feel like for them, it is just not enough, and realize the debt to be the screaming emergency. It probably is, right? We also are very eager to start putting large amounts away for any savings. Again, you can't do everything all at the same time. People always want to do everything. That's the main problem. You don't focus on the one problem. What would be the problem? The problem is the 50K in credit card debt. That is the problem. All right? And so selling the house may be a solution, but maybe you don't have to do that if you sell these dumbass cars. You can do that. And, your justification station here, well, we're more likely to get more income. Maybe, if so, that's great. And once you get it, then you can reassess. But right now, you have to plan for it not being with it. And then don't even think about saving up. You're in step 2. You don't save any money other than the $1,000 emergency fund. So stop thinking about that. So, if you want to do it whatever way you want to do it, you certainly can. But if you want to know the way to do the baby steps, the Ramsey advice, it's clearly listed here, and it's not saying a lot of the dumb crap that you're doing. So quit doing dumb crap, or you can keep doing dumb crap. It's up to you. It's your life and your money. But I don't understand what you don't understand about the situation. So, only 8 comments. Let's see if there's more from the beloved OP, which stands for original poster. Somebody made a nice little, what's that called? Where it has the dots there. Can't remember what that is called. Oh, there's one. I appreciate that. It's been a pretty big lifestyle adjustment this past month or so, and I agree. I'm a bit hesitant for the 4th reason you mentioned. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'm not a follower. I will offer some caution with selling your home to pay consumer debt. At first glance, it seems like a quick and easy way out. It is. And you also have to change your behavior and not do any debt ever again. Hopefully, you already learned that without having to go slowly to pay off the debts. So if you have too much house with you, what you do, to sell that would be the advice. And so, with those cars as well. By the time you add the cars in, that is half of your income, half of your take-home pay. So, I'm a bit hesitant I'd love to imagine that we've got everything figured out. You don't, and under control, but maybe it's best to take a slower route. I don't think so, because it's just too much. It's too much. It's too much, so I would not do that. And so again, if you bought the house before you heard of Dave Ramsey, and it's too much house, and you have $50,000 worth of debt, that's a no. Like I said, the only exception might be is if you can't rent somewhere for the same price or cheaper. So, because if it's going to, if it's going to be more or even the same price, then that might make more sense to keep it. But it's still have to look over the whole picture, and the budget and so forth. And so that's up to you, dog. If you want to do it the Ramsey way, you can. If you want to do whatever your way is, you can also do that because you're the one that makes the money. That's why Mr. Ramsey always says to people that they did it when they thank him because they got out of debt. He didn't do that. He just gave them. He just said, "You can do this. This is possible." He didn't pay it off. They're the people that paid it off, and so they should be. They should be thanking themselves for sure. Pay off house early or invest. Boop boop boo doo. Answered by the baby steps. I guess if you understand them and don't think you're supposed to just move on to the next one before the other one's completed. And of course, baby step 4 is never completed. So you see, what you do is assuming, again, you should not be in baby step 1, 2, or 3. You should be on baby step 4, which means you do have full emergency fund already and no non-mortgage debt. You invest 15% of your gross income into retirement. Then with any extra money, then you address kid college if that's applicable, and then you put extra to the mortgage. So, but you don't do extra investing while you still have a mortgage. So that's a NAR, but you should be doing the 15. I have a pension, so your pension only counts as half because pensions suck when compared to the market. So that's a nay. Projected to retire age 50 with $8,500 a month for life. Great. That only counts for half. Whatever contribution you're giving in there, that does count. And if you just get that automatically without putting anything in, then you need to invest 15% of your own. Because you don't know. You might be separated from that company. You have no idea. 32 now. You could maybe not work for that company. Maybe that company goes on business. Who knows? 32 now. I just started a Roth IRA last year with Fidelity. Invest in FZROX and FCILX. I don't know if those are index funds or not. I maxed it out and that's, just being in those two means you don't have the 4-way split that Mr. Ramsey recommends. Maxed out for year 2024 and 25. People love to do that in advance especially when they need money for other things. Let's see. I have my emergency fund, 50K, and money market fund. Great. Through Fidelity as well. Fabulous. I have no debt besides my mortgage. Excellent. I owe 78K left on my house. I have 3.1% interest rate. I'm stuck between paying off my mortgage early or to keep making out my Roth because it could potentially earn more than the 3.1%. Okay, so the Ramsey advice is to never do debt leverage to make X number more percent. So you can do that if you want to, but then no need to say you're following any Ramsey advice. So you can do that if you want to. And again, potentially is a good thing here. And also, this is another time where you need to have a risk button on your calculator because the calculator doesn't have one. A paid off for house is less risky than one you still owe a mortgage on. Let's see where we can give me. I feel like for me, my pension along with my 2 maxed out years of Roth should be decent, but looking for advice. Thoughts? Well, you're 32, you're not going to retire yet. So if you want to follow the baby steps, you would be putting 15% to retirement only and no extra investing. With any extra other money you have, and on step 4, you can budget things like vacations, fun stuff, dumb, stupid stuff to buy. You earn the right to budget that in, but that is in your budget or you save up for it in a sinking fund, but there's no extra investing besides the 15% gross income retirement investing until your house is paid off. And when the house is paid off, you're in baby step 7. You can invest and save as much as you like at that point. But Mr. Ramsey would still, as far as just regular savings, he would rather that just be the full emergency fund, and for any sinking funds that you need to have, my favorite one of those is tires, because you will need tires one day. They do not last forever, I'm told. My aha moment. Oh my goodness gracious me, went over the hour. All right, I'll do this one. Talking away. I don't know what I'm to say, I'll say it anyway. Today is another day to find you shying away. I'll be coming for your love, okay? Take on me. Take me on. I'll be gone. Couldn't make it. A day or two. Sorry, that's Aha, the song Take On Me. And, of course, I'm sure that sounded so much like it. I bet it'll be copyright slashed today. Because it sounded so much like the original. No, I can't hit that high one. I think I even had a problem with the one before the high one. And so you got to go, it sucks, but sometimes you got to go the lower octave. Or not singing at all. And of course. Aha moment. About 5. Who's this comprehensive Thai 666? Order 66. About 5 years ago, I was thinking of trading my car in, and I was going to finance another one. Gotcha. Went down the rabbit hole and started looking at all kinds of expensive vehicles. I was looking at this Beamer that was $63,000. At this time, I was just getting into Dave's teachings. That was a great time to be doing that, sir or madam. So I thought to myself, what would Dave say? Haha, he would say, pay cash. That's correct. Now here is where it got interesting. I can't wait. I'm saying that I can't wait. That's my editorial edition here. I thought to myself, I added the self as well. There's no way I would pay $63,000 for a car if that's all the money I had. And I kept asking myself, how much money would I have to pay $63,000 for a car? $100,000? Nope, not gonna do it. $200,000? Nope. $500,000? Nope. So, yep. What a joke. In the old way of thinking, that's just normal. Congratulations, you're not normal anymore. I just looked at the monthly payment, and that very extremely overly normal. So congratulations, you've made it to the weird pile here. We're weird over here. I just looked at my payment. Happy to say I'm still puttering down the road in my old Honda. Hopefully about 12 months from being debt free. Fabulous. That is fabulous. So if you're still driving the old car, I'm going to say for 5 years, and that car is still working. So why was it that you needed to trade in your car and finance? Didn't. Just a want. Dumb as crap. Okay. And you figured it out. So good job. Good job. All right. Let's see which one is next. So I know. Aha. I'll remember that one. And then trying to make sure my mom is set up for a decent retirement. Decent, of course, subjective. And we'll get into that tomorrow. Though. Cool. And of course, as always, you have to put on your oxygen mask first before you try to assist others with theirs. So, but it's great you're trying to look out for mom. If that means you give money, which you can give a gift to your mom of money, but may just want to teach her the right way to do it herself, possibly. Alrighty. Thanks so much for watching. You're watching this on, if you didn't know, you're watching this on youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you, I'm talking to you, if you have money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/CoachSteveMoney. You can email me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. CashApp $CoachSteveMoney. And Walmart gift card to Coach Steve Money. And that would go coachstevemoney@gmail.com for that Walmart gift card. And that's also, you can email me about financial stuff, anything else on my YouTube channel, or anything else that's on your mind. Upcoming streams, this show, the Ramsey Show, Aftershow show, until further notice, Monday through Friday, following each YouTube Ramsey show that ends approximately at 5:25. Now, they cut out a little early today, which I was a little bit, I guess I was on time for the normal time of the stream, but they cut out a little early, and so I didn't have as much setup time for it, so it may have pushed it back. But normally around 5:25 p.m. is when they are done and when I start. Alrighty. As always, make smart. Oh, no. Please subscribe, like, and comment. I'll get used to this YouTube thing one day. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day. Almost knocked the webcam stand over. Didn't know.